Christy McCoy from Southside Elementary School, and today I'm coming to you in a different capacity than just, I teach third grade practical reading at my school to third graders, but this is the first year I've been involved with community problem solving. And it was a different venture for me and my students because I teach STLP at my school also. What we did is we did a community problem solving project with our local community and with our school community. And the students did a survey on SurveyMonkey, and we started out with third graders asking them things they viewed in their community that they thought were problems or things that need to be, possibly resolved. So what we did, and my students are the ones that actually created this movie that you're getting ready to see, so be forgiving because they did create it themselves. It took a very long time, probably about 24 hours of footage in a 10-minute video. One of the things I do want to show you before the movie starts is this is a t-shirt that was paid for with ARI grant monies. I also received the STAR grant and the STARS grant. And this goes along with what their project is all about. It's called Go With The Flow. And it's students transforming Appalachia with real-world solutions. We also won at state competition in STLP for our project. I'm really sorry we didn't get to make it the week later to the one in Louisville, but I noticed a lot of the winners out there, and kudos to you. But we did not get to go because it was just too much, too much in 1 week to do. So it involves recycling and river restoration and taking rubber tires out of the river and recycling them into playground mulch. And then later on, restoring our river and, developing, purchasing kayaks and paddle boats and things like that, building fishing docks. It's a multi-year project, as you can see, so it's not something that's going to be solved. Briefly talk about what it is, that this all entails. And what they do is they go on the river, and a lot of the monies that were purchased, purchased things like, the equipment that we would use. We received 5 iPads, 1 mini iPad Air that I'm going to be receiving soon for an Appalachian Electric Power Company grant that I received. So they take these down on an airboat, and they Skype live. They're called Bucket Buddies with students around the world, and they test water quality samples in the river. And they take and learn about the ecosystems, and they learn about the different types of plant and animal life that can survive and thrive in those waters. And I really wish this would come up because we had some really good footage of just behind our school. We have a lot of renovation going on right now, and because we're getting a new school, basically. And there is an overflow drain behind our school. We have several of them from the mountain, from the runoff. And the students learned, there were so many just different things that they learned just from the construction that was going on at school. What did you say? Right here? It's right here. It's action research.
That's why I clicked on it.
For my key?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
It's converting it.
I didn't know it was Mac. Sorry. Okay, well. Pray this works. This happened to a girl over in the last one that I was in, and Andrew fixed it. So.
Thank you, ma'am. I didn't really meant to find it. Still trying to convert it, but it just won't open it there.
Is it saved to the desktop? Maybe it will. Let's see, it may not open. Not open there. So the desktop and the monitor.
It'd be great if it would let me just save it, but it won't. Love technology when it works.
Yeah, and it's when it's the meat and potatoes of your project. Okay.
You just cannot open it. It's not, let's give it up, I think.
Does anyone have a laptop with them today? Okay.
But it would open, there's just no sound. Maybe we just go back with that and just talk us through it. No, it won't do, it's, we tried to open it up from her jump drive,
Oh, yeah.
but it won't open up from her jump drive.
Well, it wouldn't have worked from Andrew's either, that I had sent him, it didn't.
It would work, but we couldn't hear the voice.
It wouldn't sound.
No sound.
Well,
Let's see. You're good. Go ahead, Christy, you're fine.
well,
Just get up there and tell them. Wing it.
okay. I guess I'm glad I'm last. But anyway, just if you just want to pull up the slides, that's fine.
Okay, I'll try to get it going again.
It's just a lot of work to put into something and it not work. I'm just feel bad for the students.
Now,
You don't have to tell them that it didn't work.
Oh, no, I definitely will not. Because they couldn't come with me today, so, yeah, I will not
Can
do
you go
that.
back to the original one she pulled up off the desktop and just walk up there and talk
Yeah.
about it? as-
Well,
and
that's
so
what we're
it
trying to
doesn't
do.
have sound?
that's what we're trying to do, Patty. If you want to come on up and work on this with me, it'll be
Come on,
fine.
Patty.
Come on.
Come on, Patty.
You may be able to get it there.
No, I've been everywhere, and people searching for him. Wants to be a helping someone else.
Where did you pull the first one out from, Mary?
The original one that was sent to KVAC.
Was it on
And-
the desktop or wherever?
No, it's fine.
And if I can get this, that's what I'm after, if I can
Yeah.
get this out of the way
And
here.
then she can just talk about it as the slides come through.
Okay, this is the one that we have it on.
Yeah, pull that
And
one
we'll
up
pull
right
that
there,
back up
because at
there.
least that's in the right format that'll run.
Mhm.
And
He's
if she can
converted
just- Yeah, that one's converted, just no sound. And
Just
let
no
her
sound.
talk about it as it runs, just like it's a PowerPoint.
Okay,
I think that's about the only way we're gonna get it.
yeah. All right. Well, the project purpose is that we were restoring our local river resources by gathering old tires to recycle, upcycle, and repurpose into rubber mulch for the beautification of our school playground and local community gardens. At the same time, we were revitalizing our economy, improving public health through recycling and recreation. The standards that were addressed were the English language arts standards, math standards, next generation science standards, community involvement, and much technology integration. The STEM, this is a STEM project because it incorporates all venues of science, technology, engineering, and math. And as I pointed out, and I've color-coded each box that goes with what we did, students learned things about when they did their water sampling, parts per million, something I never knew anything about, and things like that. The project progression, of course, went from me writing a grant and receiving 2 of those. We did the student surveys. We developed an action plan. We attended meetings. Students used email to do community partnerships and things like that. And this was the actual one where it shows they did first we did a simulation of what they were going to do in the real world with this project. And I really wish we could do this with sound. But these 2 students are just saying, we're students. There's their t-shirts. This little boy is out in our creek with his gear on. He has rubber boots too. He's doing water sampling. And they go and test the mineral hardness. They did that right in the classroom. So a lot of our things took place in the classroom as well as in the field. This was an after-school program. And of course, students are reading this off. So we have words there. And we talked about water runoff and things like that. And flooding was one of the big issues that we had here lately that caused us a lot of problems. This is the overflow drain behind our school where they have a lot of renovations going on. Here they're testing for the hardness from the sample. It's from an abandoned coal mine behind our school. This student is using the Compass app on his iPhone to locate a debris field of tires which is in the creek in front of our school. And he takes the coordinates from that and he uploads that to Google Earth. And it will show him exactly, printing out a map of those coordinates of where they are. So that's a lot of technology used there. The students gathered 100 tires back in September and they get $5 per tire. Now they were promised this $5 from the gentleman who owns the airboat that took us on it. And his grant hasn't come through yet. But the monies are due us, so we'll get those monies eventually and put them in a, stockpile at school. These students are using their iPads to record data from, we're actually here, we're at school doing that. This is a student model that they built with craft sticks of the airboat that they go on. This is another model students created using Legos. I have the airboat right here that a student created. This is another creation telling about how they take the tires and they are repurposed and things to use for playground mulch. There's some of the conditions that we have on rainy days that create problems for us, but this is what we eventually want to get to. This is the STLP showcase we were at, and that's going very fast. The movie's not so fast. This is a website they created. And they have a QR code that they created that goes straight to the website, telling about their whole project. This is a person from Google that they met and talked with. He loved the project and wanted to hear more about it and actually told us to bring it back next year and develop it and build on it. That's their trophy. You can see in the hands of the little boy there. And that's at our state championship. So we know it's a pretty good project. And we're going to develop it and go places with it. It just takes a lot of time. This is, of course, one of the problems with the flooding because there's like 4 foot of mud and debris now where we would have taken the airboat. And we were going to go at the end of April. That was going to be our first official run. I really wish we had sound because there's a movie that it's a continued movie after this part. There's the kayak. That is not me. That hopefully, after restoring the river, with some of the grant monies, we're going to work with our neighboring county and state, Mingo County, West Virginia, to put, the docks and that's all in place. It's just a matter of getting on the river and doing what we have to do. So this is the video. This is the actual movie. And that's the boat ramp, which is about maybe not even 4 miles from our school. And this is where we actually would go out and meet the airboat to go out on the river. These are actual photos taken by students of our river, and it's beautiful. I had never been on the river, but I did go once. We were in the Appalachian News Express. Our story was featured on in the Appalachian News Express whitewater section. And we've talked about it to Southern West Virginia Community College. We've talked to a panel of people. I've taken students to that. There's some tires right there located. A lot of the work, has been at our school because obviously we've not been able to get on the river as much as we had planned. And then he's our solution. That's our airboat driver. And the students call him by first name. And then this is, actually when we're on the airboat. And they're using their, as I said, their iPads and things like that. And this is the tire recycling, the tires that were collected. And the students also engineered a tool out of rebar that they could pull the tires out of the river with for safety purposes, because they don't want to reach into the river. There could be snakes in it, and things like that. That's where we're hoping to get, getting paddle boats and kayaks, as I said, onto the river, and building ramps and things like that. There's a lot of science, there's a lot of math involved in this project. At some points I thought, wow, we bit off a little bit more than we chewed, but we didn't, because it just came to fruition and it came to life, and it was like just a rebirth, and they're all so excited about it. And you could tell that if you could hear the sound, but, unfortunately, and that's our playground now, but we have, just regular mulch, wood chip mulch, which causes a few problems, that being one, with the water settling and a lot of mosquitoes and things like that, and the wood chip splinters, that children get. And so we're hoping to get to a rubber mulch surface.